Hello everyone, how is it going? I am awake, I have a coffee, and we have JDG versus Anyone's Legend, which is two of our top 3 teams as far as things stand. And of course it stays that way because BLG did not pull ahead of the pack yesterday against top Esports. They lost to them, so they have joined JDG and Weibo on 4 wins and 3 losses. Anyone's Legend were already there. Yeah, I just noticed that, Blade, don't worry, I just noticed that for some reason. I think the clean feed is louder today. I don't know why. Anyway, that is the thing, I've noticed that, don't worry. Yes. Sorry, that's throwing me for a loop, that one. So yes, JDG, Anyone's Legend. JDG tend to struggle against the chaotic teams where Ginger can't get ahead. I actually think the more I watch this team, that Ginger is the core to this team. There's probably going to be an interview right after this, so I'm probably going to have to cut myself off for this one. But there we go. All right, I'll leave you with it.
各位好，欢迎来到赛前采访，我是主持人欣然。我们先请到的是北京 JDG 的上路选手小徐，跟大家打个招呼吧。
大家好，我是 JDG 的上路小徐。
上场你们没有能够完成复仇嘛，可能还是有些遗憾。相信队伍也做了很多的复盘。现阶段觉得游戏里面队伍最需要巩固好的点是哪些呢？
就是关于中后期大龙方面的东西要做得更好。
那今天是面对到的是 AL， 他们野辅一直是核心，所以你们在游戏当中将会如何去提防他们过早的带起前期节奏呢？
就是前期可能我们线上需要再更稳定一些，不要给到对面机会吧。
好的，我们一会儿赛场见。同样，我们请到的是 AL 的下路选手 Hope， 跟大家打招呼吧。
大家好，我是 AL 的 AD Hope。
之前选手们在采访当中提到说，最近队伍的沟通配合都越来越好了。那对于目前队伍呈现出来的一个整体状态，你觉得还算满意吗？
我觉得我们 AL 在越来越好吧，还是比较满意的。
今天对阵到的是 JDG， 也算是一场焦点战了。你觉得会是怎样的展开呢？
我觉得我们 AL 做好自己的，应该能顺利拿下比赛。
好的，我们一会儿赛场见。
Okay, right. So yes, prepping for this one, what are the important things? Really for me, a lot of it does come down to that early jungle matchup. Got a couple of minutes. Now, Now for some reason the adverts haven't double stacked this time. I'm gonna have to put like a big ad break on just as soon as I can. Hopefully I can run one now. No, I can't. That's a little annoying. I need to run like an ad break like ASAP. No Nirvana to gaming today? No, but we do have double ascend group games, which is, that's my jam. You know, that's my jam. Oh, there we go. Literally came on now. Perfect. Cool. Perfect. Cool. So yeah, talked about the jungle matchup being really important. I think that if anyone's Legend, the reason they got blown out last time was one, their laning strength was not good enough. One thing, but two, I think that they didn't plan well enough. I think JDG out-prepped them. I think JDG were well up in their business in the first clear of the game, and I think that JDG got ahead from that and then stayed ahead. Really, I think that on the whole, JDG were worse team fighters than Anyone's Legend, but they came in with such an advantage it didn't matter. So I need to see better early game prep this time from Anyone's Legend, because I think they were caught out a lot by JDG, and that Tabe had helped them an awful lot too. Now, obviously this is the second time, this is the revenge match for Anyone's Legend if they want to get that one back against them. I think that JDG have seen some notable, they've shown some flaws against the likes of Weibo, a couple of the lower tier teams which are a bit more chaotic. Did BLG look as bad as I heard? Yeah, they weren't great, and Bin was playing, and Bin was not good. Bin had a shocker yesterday. He was down like 5,000 gold on 369 in the Renekton now matchup. Yeah, the next 2 games were bad from Bin. Game 1 was fine, but then game 2 and 3 were really quite bad from him, sadly. So yeah, Bin is not looking great. Which does leave, you know, a spot open at the top of the table, which both these teams are looking for anyway. It is not all sunshine and rainbows for BLG. Okay, and we'll get into that opening segment. Oh, well, I thought it were going to Never, and it didn't. Yeah, just let me get settled in. I'm still kind of waking up, I'm not gonna lie, folks.
观看2026英雄联盟职业联赛第一赛段，您可以通过英雄联盟客户端、掌上英雄联盟及英雄联盟赛事官网 LPL.QQ.com、虎牙直播、哔哩哔哩直播、腾讯视频、腾讯体育、新浪微博、微信视频号进行收看。电视机前的召唤师可以通过百视通平台收看全程赛事。上京东搜“京东电竞直播”，赢千元耳机和游戏手办。穿李宁日进斗金系列，祝你峡谷稳赢，马年旺到飞起！开一局吗？开就开！感谢提供全场保护的杜蕾斯，今晚19战力开一局。Sky Motor 手机电动，快人一步，稳赢一路。TCL 全屋智慧家电，峡谷英雄敢为不凡。2026 LPL 官方指定家电产品。更受电竞用户喜欢的能量饮料，醒神好喝，当然站吧！傲风 G7 LPL 官方指定电竞椅，想赢做傲风。
And welcome to the stage. Looks like we're in Shanghai today, not in Beijing, not at JDG's arena. And welcome two of your top 3 LPL teams to the stage, JDG and Anyone's Legend.
LPL 第一赛段组内赛第3周第6日，首场将由北京 JDG 对阵 AL， 比赛即将开始 ，LPL 无畏进巅峰。
I believe Shanks is Anyone's Legend's captain, for those who are wondering. I believe it's Shanks. Okay, let's get into it first, shall we? So, A lot of this game for me will come down to jungle matchup, as we've talked about already. So yeah, that jungle matchup really, really important. I feel like, you know, Tarzan is, I think, the best jungler in the world, and I think that if you are going to get one over on Anyone's Legend like JDG did in the first series, you need to make sure that Tarzan is shut down and that you have a very good early jungle path. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Rugger Husky. You're doing well. Compliment from Monsters. Tarzan may be best jungler in the world, best chatter in the world. It's not an accolade he has. That goes to Monsters. He was also very, very sweet and got me a postcard for Christmas. That was very, very sweet. Genuinely did that. That was very nice of you. That was, yeah, very kind of you. Love that. Yeah, that was very sweet. Okay, going into the draft, we'll of course talk about pick and ban priority, stuff like that. I'm actually gonna shift the volume between up again. Actually, let's turn it down a little bit. And I realize it's probably a little bit too low now. Basically, it's so I can switch it around on my OBS like sliders rather than reaching into the app itself. So hopefully that'll be fine in game now. Then the game got louder too. Yeah, don't worry, everything's fine. LPL audio is fine, you're just too low. Yeah, but I can't pump my own volume, so that means I need to turn, yeah, because then the audio quality goes down. Just with this mic setup, I can't go like too crazy with it. Turn up a little bit, but yeah, I can set up a little bit, but I won't go like crazy. And we're into that draft. Okay. So JDG, Anyone's Legend, two of our top teams. JDG winning against BLG and AL, but also losing against Gaming, against Weibo, leaves us questioning where they actually are in the table. Or at least he should have been into that draft. Looks like it's not graphically just yet. Bit of a patch on the forehead there. Hope he's alright. Sometimes that's there when you're feeling a bit ill. Then it can be a bit of a, like a cold patch or something. Although I think he'd be wearing a mask if he was actually ill. And then we get into our bans. So Silas away from Shanks, that means there must be a Malphite ban. You gotta ban the Malphite if you think that the Silas is kind of, well, okay, it's a really powerful ban. I think particularly with Silas off the table, the Malphite becomes a lot more strong. We still have Jace, so we might have a Jace Malphite trade. We have Orianna Varus. Orianna Varus, Jace, Malphite. Anything else huge in there? Well, we've got rid of the Nico. Stuff like Misfortune, Yunara, although the Misfortune's a little bit later, lower down the table. Jace gone. Do you ban the Malphite? Presumably we just ban the Malphite, yeah. Hey, good night, Montes. Thanks for stopping by. First pick for JDG. Is it going to be the Varus or the Orianna? Probably the Varus, I'd imagine, for Gala. I think Shanks is okay in the mid lane matchup against it. And Honkyu is a very good Orianna player. He's a very good Orianna player. It's one of those two, though, really. Okay, we're going to go for that. Shanks could go Syndra, go Akali, could go Azir. Got a couple of options. And then I think you slam the... Oh, but then if you go the Varus, there's a chance of Ginger going for the Nocturne. He had an awesome game on the Nocturne just the other day. And Varus is notoriously very bad versus the Nocturne Orianna. And at that point, you're kind of like forcing yourself to go into a Bard to protect him, which is the best defensive support of the meta right now for against that combo specifically. Because you can kind of go stasis as the ults fly towards you. Still Varus Nocturne? Yeah, but you need to have a combo to make Nocturne feel good. What split is this? This is split 1 of the year. So this is our winter split, effectively. Although it's not called winter, it's split 1. Okay, so are you locking in a mid matchup? Are you taking away a choice jungler? You could go Shinzao. Is it not safe versus Nocturne Orianna, actually? I think you just slam the Nocturne here. You got 2 carries you'd love to play against. What do you mean by LPL Cup? I don't believe it's called that. I believe it's called LPL Split 1. I think you're looking at a Nocturne 100% here for JDG. Just look at the 2 carries you can dunk on. Just look at them. Now, there are some jungle matchups where you can get pushed around in a little, and maybe that worries JDG. There you go. Easy. Hey, Carrick, how's it going? I saw you were on LCP. Congrats. I'm really happy for you. It's very cool to see you on that broadcast. I'll be watching. I'll be watching with great interest. We've got two of your boys over here. We've got Jundra and Honky over from CFO onto JDG. I suppose we'll see how they do. Jundra very good on the Nocturne against Weibo in game 2. Give them back to CFO. They just lost, right? Okay. Yeah. Well, I do. When you have a lot of when you've got a lot of draw to bring players over, JDG have always managed to snipe some really big players. Someone's got to lose out. It's going to be the Rek'Sai into the Scion. Now, Jashi's trying to pick up the Scion to be a safe blind pick. You have given a good matchup for the Rek'Sai, and Flandre is legitimately the only good Rek'Sai top player in the world. Pretty much everyone else really, really sucks at this champion to play down thing. Did I watch the BLG Top Esports Game 3 VOD? Yeah, I saw Cream had a really good Akali game. I couldn't watch it like too closely, but yeah, I saw Cream had a really good game. And that Bin had another nightmare. BLG, I thought they'd be able to, you know, put together a roster to challenge the world this year again, but BLG are cursed, man. BLG are cursed. Second round to pick some bans. Trying to ban away some of the defensive junglers away from the Nocturne Orianna ult, so the Shinzao's taken away from Tarzan. You ban away the Pantheon as well. Pantheon's pretty good against the Nocturne. You can press the E. Well, the Nocturne Orianna specifically, right? Because the Shockwave doesn't get the value that way. Yunara Sivir banned away from Gala, so they're probably looking at Misfortune here for Gala now. The Bloodthirster, sustained first item carry who has a decent matchup into the Varus. That on Jhin. Jin's also good for Gala here, especially since the Rek'Sai's not a hyper tank. And the Alistair banned away from Kyle, one of the other tanky supports. So anyone's legend, you need either some way to pressure the Nocturne out early or some way to survive the combo later on. Now Tarzan, pretty good Trundle player, one of the original players, not the original players, he's been around for a while, but there for a long time. Pantheon does come on, we already talked about that being good into Nocturne, because you can press that shield up. Now the Pantheon isn't as good versus the Scion because you don't have the Trundle ultimate. Trundle ultimate would have been better for the team comp for that. Talked about the Misfortune. It's a sustained carry versus the Varus. Fine lane matchup. No hyper tank on the other side. This is quite valuable. And then that leaves Vampire to play something like Nautilus or Leona, some of his, you know, big engaged champions. No surprises there. That's good. I think this is a fine draft from JDG. Now, there might be some worries about damage. You know, Nocturne Scion's not the best damaging core. Might be some worries about engage. Especially if you don't use your Nocturne Orianna combo on cooldown, you can sometimes run out of engage. Sometimes, not always. Vampire will go for an engage support. We'll just see what. And then Kyle, does Kyle go for something like Braum? You're playing very defensive this game. What do you do from support here? You could just go Nautilus. Quite disruptive. You go Rel. I think Rel Nautilus are okay here. Rakan just gets exploded just by a tiny bit of damage. You don't want to go for the Rakan here. You need something fairly tanky. Ah, yes, and then there's the Bard, which you can play defensively for that ultimate, which we talked about earlier in the draft. Somehow slipped my mind here. So the Bard can, when the lights go dark, you throw the ult at your own carries, and it will protect them in the stasis. So that can sometimes save your team. Bard is very good here. If the Nocturne Orianna combo does not get value for JDG, their composition does not work. It does not work. So you need to throw that early. You need to know which target it's going to hit, of course, too. And now this draft is very interesting, because I actually think JDG have a pretty good aggressive combo. They do, but it's a little bit one track. And I think Anyone's Legend have, you know, a very mobile Bard support to go across the map. You have a Rek'Sai that's going to be pushing. And they have the tools to outplay this team. I think that AL come away with the higher potential strength of draft. Because they can make the most out of it. I'm going to put some quick adverts on so we don't get the end game. Yo, that is a lot of points. Wow, that is a lot of points on both sides. Get that Gamba up. Who's the Anyone's Legend coach now? believe it's Helper and Teachama. Teachama was very famously quite a cerebral coach. Yeah, but Helper was on Gen G for a while. And Teachama was largely on Team WE. Okay, let's get onto the ref to hear those gyos and get into gameplay. Okay. Now we have to wait to see how these matchups play out across the rifts. Shanks and Honkyu playing out what is quite a one of the most studied matchups in League of Legends history now, the Azir Orianna. Of course, it changes quite a lot, particularly on the Azir side of things, based on where they want to shove the damage in his kit next. Jumping in with the Zenith Blade, but the problem is, the damage goes back onto the Misfortunes. That's a pretty good winning trade there for Hope and Kyle. You know, at the end of the day, you always want to get damage onto AD carry over the support if you can help it. Now, Vampire, a very experienced Leona player. He is a player who's got a lot of time on engaged supports in general. Honkyu looking for that QW. Gets him on target. It's nice from him. Nice to have a Q there. Trades back pretty well, actually. Gets the full lethal tempo through. Could have been a lot worse, actually. Ooh, misses the QW there, Honkyu. That could be quite important. That gives Shanks a lot of time to hit this next wave. If that QW had hit, I think it pretty much would have been laning phase over for him, actually. Bondra losing the first wave or two of push. I don't think he had to do that, by the way. Rek'Sai, well, I guess with the Unburrow level 1, you don't have much wave shove. Kyle walking into the enemy jungle, spot out the blue buff. This is important because the bot lane, you know, quite easily won the early levels. This means that now Tarzan has early access to the map. Now, this might be one of the problems about the Nocturne. The Nocturne does not shut down Tarzan. It doesn't get ahead in the jungle matchup. This is not stop the most dangerous part of anyone's legend, which is their jungle and the jungle support duo, from getting out onto the map and doing something. Now, Junja's just going to full clear. He wants to full clear twice, really, and then, you know, just ult people on cooldown. Taking first scuttle. Tarzan's not going to fight for that. Mid push for Shanks will really help this too, actually. Bondra pushing out against the Scion now. Ooh, wow, good damage from Shanks there. Yeah, Honky's gonna have to recall. No chance to fight that. Shanks does have ward in inventory. I think he just hit that vision plant, don't you? Hey, Shanks. This is recall stop. Lazy recall. Teleport into mid lane. Okay, lazy recall there, Shanks. Losing a few seconds on the wave. Does he have to hit the next wave now? That could be a problem for him. Yeah, he's going to lose the cannon for that lazy recall. Shanks. You could at least put a ward down or use the Scryer's Bloom or something. That was lazy. So he's lost the cannon. He's going to lose 3 minions for what was just a dumb recall. Oh well, it happens. Everyone's done it. Might eat a free QW for teleporting there too, and indeed does. Shuffle forwards though. You see how small mistakes like that can make quite a large difference, actually. Bot lane's doing well. Gala and Vampire have a very combo-centric bot lane. Which, it is a very strong bot lane. Leona MF really does fight very well. One of the stronger 2v2s you can get, really. Then Varus Bard. Very obnoxious double-range bot lane too. Yay! Healing Shrines. Bard, what a champion. So mid lanes ended up being fairly even. Honky getting a slight bit back from the early pressure that Shanks had gained just before. Bondra and Xiaoshu just trading out on his top side. Bot side, really the bot lane is the only one which has really led to anything interesting, which is Kyle getting out on the map early and making vision plays, really. However, the big way that JDG beat anyone's Legend before was getting up in their face early and shutting down Target. They've not managed to do that yet, so now they're going to try a different way to beat them, which is through big combo gameplay. I'm not sure how successful that'll be compared to the previous approach. Dragon going to be aggroed. They've got a ward here, spotted by the Scryer's Bloom. I don't know about this one. I don't think you want to be walking up into a choke point versus the... You don't have the everything here yet, but... Potential magical journey out. Dragon's now actually been fully started here. Shanks is not on the table. Moving on to Gala, who gets the cleanse blown. That's not great positioning for him. Vampire and Gala walking too far away from each other. That's half the HP down, a cleanse down easily. Dragon's finished. Flandra had level 6 and could have ulted onto Xiaoshu. So anyone's Legend winning the slight pressure battle across the map. Summoner out of bot lane, out of top lane. Kyle did use the heal partway through that, but not that big a thing. Ooh, Shanks sliding in, gets that. Well, Kyle was just over the wall. There is a shockwave to use for Honky. Often in this matchup, you will see a lot of ults used for chunk control of the lane. But now you don't have that. Honky's quite low HP. They do have the knockwave combo. You can slam that in there. Flandra's too high HP for you to do anything on this top side, really. Grubs haven't spawned yet. Yeah, he was actually threatening the kill hit. Got the extra knock-up. Oh, he had the Elixir of Wrath and Triple Tonic as well. Oh, jumping onto Hope! Has to flash away. It's so close! It's so close, Vampire. Does he have one last bit? He does! Vampire gets the first blood. How did Hope die there? They had so much control. They were 10 CS up. Massive mistake by Hope. Good punish by Gala and Vampire. Wasn't even a level 6 there yet. How did that happen? That's a good moment there for JDG. Maybe we'll get a replay of it. We didn't see the start of that fight. Of course, we know that JDG, their laning phase is one of their best parts of their game. Big mistake from her. Blowing both summoners and still dying. One of the problems that... Yeah, one of the worries I have about anyone's Legend is what is going to happen with this bot lane laning phase. Because one of the ways that we saw anyone's Legend lose to BLG was to not get any control over bot lane. And it meant that Kyle was locked in lane. And On could just walk across the map. Oh, we might see ourselves our first Nocturne Orianna combo of the game. There is a flash from Shanks. Oh, really good flash, though. Gets him out of the shockwave. Junja will have to go looking again. Very well timed. Hard to do that. For those of you that don't know, you effectively preload the shockwave. It kind of activates while you're mid-flight. The reason why it's such a big combo is that it allows the shockwave to technically happen outside of Orianna's normal range. Because as long as the shockwave kind of completes just before Nocturne lands, it will go beyond its regular maximum range. It's kind of a bug, but they've allowed it to happen just for forever, really. But if you flash, you can still manage to change the timing, because Nocturne has to fly a little further towards you. Very well played by Shanks. And now JDG, look at a map where they've blown some summoners, but they haven't managed to get that first combo. There's no shockwave for Honky. Shanks has shuffle. This is going to lead to some pressure in mid lane. And JDG, look, the bot lane kill is really important. It is, actually, because it gives them more of a leg up there than they had any right to from the early game, really. And now the problem is anyone's Legend have like a... You know, they've got a moment or two... Ah, Shanks, my dude. Not sure about that one. It does have teleport. Junja ult is still well off cooldown. And one of the other things we have to track as well, he is running the Ultimate Hunter. Of course, has a 0 stacks for now, but one of the things we saw about the Weibo game was how he got very, very far ahead early because he killed so many people. He had extra cooldown reduction from Ultimate Hunter as a rune. JDG tried to start the first dragon earlier, weren't successful in doing so. Get this one now. Does that mean JDG got grubs and the dragon? I think they did, actually. I've not seen Tarzan pull the ult yet either, from the Pantheon. Okay. I'd like to see anyone's Legend make a power play. Problem is, the combo from the Nocturne Orianna's back up now. Felt like they wasted that window of time somewhat. Ginger happily farming away. Again, a little annoying for him that he didn't land a good first ult of the game. It's a very good flash from Shanks, of course. Okay, thank you, Solo Puppy. Good to know. Okay, hopefully that'll be fine then. That'll change when we get into the big fights, problem. That's the big problem, though. Flandra trying to stop the Crystallize, can't do so. The increased attack range will help get that one. Hey, Zara, good to see you. Bone plating blown on Vampire. I think Kyle was trying to bait Vampire into getting dragged through the magical journey with that. Junja, really threatening now. You know, that Zenith Blade could have led to Junja flying through as well. That is the power of the Nocturne. Tarzan was back in base at that point. He does have first item, whereas Nocturne has not got that and stopped off for first tier boots as well. The Tarzan is way more powerful for the next, well, until the recall comes through from the Nocturne. Walking up as jungle support, clearing out vision. I'm not sure they completely saw that. But look how Tarzan's just hanging around, just making sure he can battle ward a little bit. Vision control from JDG has been fairly solid. Of course, that was one of our big criticisms of them. They got out jungle supported by, you know, it really felt like Ginger and Vampire fell behind Erha and JJ versus Weibo. Felt like they were, that was the biggest point of difference. Flandra has the top lane role quest done a little bit earlier than Xiaoxu. Fairly important there. Bot lane role quest not completed by either of them so far. Plates on one side, kill on the other. There you go. It's about, I guess, half a minute to a minute for Xiaoxu. Get his role quest over Flandra. Not to match Flandra. Hey, Zara, thank you so much for the gift sub. Plate for Gala, uses that ultimate. Hope, my dude, you still need to not stand in that. So basically what Hope's done is walk up, eat an ult, and then have to back off again. So he's going to be denied his bot lane role quest a little bit longer. Gala gets it now. Well played from Gala there, good chunk. Not even sure that Hope needed to throw his ult there, right? Because the ult doesn't actually stop the MF ult. He just throws it out for the hell of it, trying to get some stacks and maybe some poke back from an arrow, but he didn't land that either. So he's thrown the arrow out already. So look, if you're going to throw the ult there, you need to have your arrow immediately after. So you throw the ult, walk to the side, and then you try and get the full stack arrow, which will trade back. 15 streams for you. Thanks for kites. 15 kites. Wow. I am doing well, kites. I'm doing well. I hope you're all doing well in chat as well. So, folks, as it comes through to the last few days of the regular split, which we are getting to, we're into our last week now. What matchups are people potentially excited to see in playoffs? Reminder that bottom tier group Nirvana are eliminated. We have kind of like a play-in to playoffs between Group Perseverance, the top two of Nirvana, and the bottom two of Ascend. We have 8 teams facing off in 6 best of 5s. 2 will directly qualify, then losers go on to play like an extra qualifying match against the lower bracket teams. So we'll have 6 best of 5s from that, and then a full playoffs bracket, by the way, which is going to be insane. We will have double best of 5 days, which will be a real pain. Here comes the ultimate boss time. Hope is probably dead here. I'm surprised he lived. I'm really surprised he lived. Wow, that is a very good escape from him. Does lose the flash. Now, typically, Varus dies to that. Okay. Junja, once again, left wanting a little bit in terms of the results of that. Is a flash out of a carry. Dragon up in 20 seconds means that anyone's legend won't have to worry about a Nocturne ult around that objective. It's been a very slow game. There is a significant lead for Flandra. He's built something up over Xiaoxu. He's happy. Goes in for the hit on the tower. Demolish. Reminder that Demolish is now a 3-hit passive. I'm telling you, I need a public transport Rek'Sai skin. I need public transport Rek'Sai. Shanks, my dude. I'm worried actually that he get Leona comboed there. Dragon has been started. There is no ult for that. Oh, Shockwave onto Hope. He doesn't have a flash right now. Shockwave down, QW missing means that Hope's actually okay here now. Hope's okay. Now, you're looking really only at the bullet time now. Bullet time is the only thing that threatens. There's Bar Shrines, there's Honey Fruit. JDG throwing out ultimates fairly loosely around the map so far. Now, of course, anyone's legend while they're kind of surviving the initial punch, you know, the ultimates are not killing them right now. It's not like they're gaining anything besides time, which is something, but they're not making their own plays right now, you see. Dragon was stopped again. Rek'Sai casually taking the U8, yeah. U5's the one I use the most. I use it to get from east to west. Gets me onto hop on. Oh, ult on towards Hongq. Does have flash. Ooh, here comes, well, the potential of that knockdown flying in. Good stuns coming through, but they managed to kill Hope anyway, who wasn't far enough away from the play. The bullet time is good. And Anyone's Legend, the first time they go aggressive, they go straight into the jaws of JDG, who throw the ultimates back at them and take down 2 kills. Poorly judged play from Anyone's Legend. They were going on to one Orianna with flash. There was follow-up around the corner. Not a good play from Anyone's Legend, who are now behind 2,000 gold. Now, initially, I thought, well, JDG, they're not shutting down Tarzan. This is a good thing for them. No, good for Anyone's Legend. Shang's flashing out of the initial part of the combo. But right here, Hope, you can't walk. You just lost your flash. You know there's a Nocturne that's going to be around. It's such an easy play onto him. I'm not enjoying how Hope's playing out this game so far. I just didn't. I don't think he understands, or like he doesn't understand what the team needs from him, I suppose, in those moments. Why not take Drake? You can't really take Dragon for free against that comp. They did have the Nocturne back up and the bullet time, especially as a blue side team, that hurts. At least Rek'Sai's farming up a Storm, getting a ton of gold. Shanks, good trade there onto Hongq, even with the Shockwave going over. Shanks is arguably winning out the 1v1s versus Hongq. It just hasn't led to anything. Now we're at the point where Junja did get himself two ultimate hunter stacks. Gives himself the Hex Plate, so his ults are going to be a lot lower cooldown now. I really don't get why you don't like Kyle. His vision control's being critical to this game. Was that ult not great? No. No, he probably should have ulted someone else. Ulted defensively, really. But I really don't get what you got a bone to pick with him. Is it something personal? Did he beat a team you liked? Okay, well, potential of the ultimate coming through from Junja again now, but Hongq doesn't have the Shockwave. Need to see Hope step up, really. Hope's really struggled. I think his positioning, or at least his understanding of where the next big ultimate's going to come through from, hasn't been fantastic. So Flandre has a 1.2 gate lead. That's why the gold doesn't look completely blown out of proportion. Appreciate the follows there, by the way, Arthur and King. 2 dragons to JDG, 3 grubs to go to Anyone's Legend. My bad. I knew that they'd gone down, but I'd actually forgotten who they went down to. A little bit surprised, like, oh, did JDG get them? That would have been Dragon and the grubs, of course. Shockwave back available. Junja has his ults, trying to control that vision. And, you know, JDG, I think their vision control was one of their worst parts of the game. They're going to spot everyone heading down towards bot side here. I think because this combo so obviously wants to come from Fog of War, I think it's quite easy for JDG to be like, okay, well, let's focus on the vision control. IL Turbo Smurfed Worlds? Yeah, he did. He was really good. Like, the thing is, Hope domestically has been very good in LPL. It's just internationally, Hope's not been great. Okay, that's a dead guy. That's a dead guy. Yeah, well, we just talked about him. Wow, great support, doing great in Worlds, blah, blah, blah. Well, there ain't much you can do about that. Died on the warding mission. Now, that's going to be another ult hunter stack over towards Junja, actually. Because that was one he hadn't killed before. He's overhyped and overrated because he's been portrayed by you and other LPL streamers as he was the best LPL support. Well, the funny thing about that is, he has actually been the best LPL support in 2025, you know? And I still think that he's absolutely critical to the way that Anyone's Legend perform. You know, he is the best support in LPL. That, you will find people, very, very rarely will you find people disagreeing with that. It is the consensus for good reason, really. I really like the way that his macro and vision game plays. Very good at moving on the map, very good at pairing up with Tarzan on the whole. If you even look in this game, you know, getting out onto the map early was actually very important in this game. You look through 25, he was clearly the best support in the league. Dragon up now in a minute. And JDG do have themselves that slim advantage. Ginger, this Nocturne pick seems to be a really powerful thing for him. When is Flandre going to enter the map? You know, he's getting ahead in the individual matchup. He's getting a lead in his side lane. This is important because JDG can't really, it can't really deal with this pressure that well. He's too fed now to easily kill. Ginger could fly down with the ult. I just don't think they kill him though. I think he just kills Ginger, by the way, if it really comes to it. He is really quite scary. He's now another one of the small ones. Dragon down under 30 seconds. Honq, very powerful. That Luden Shadowflame combo is going to really throw onto the initial combo. It's less good in terms of actual DPS. You know, you get less cooldown, less ability to chase people down for damage as well. He's got the Comet as well, not the Phase Rush. I feel like Flandre really shouldn't look to join the team. Well, he kind of needs to because he's the guy that can actually frontline somewhat. And also, like, if you're giving him a ton of gold from side lane, he needs to get something done with it. Now, he does have 2 items now. 2 item Rek'Sai is where things really start to pick up. Herald now used. That could be a bit of a getaway vehicle. Now, where's the combo coming through? Vampire happy to tank things up. Here he can go again. Hope flashes. Gets away from the shockwave. That's not a good ult from Kyle. That's not a good ult. Doesn't save his AD carry. Flandre goes down too, and JDG pull the combo again. Anyone's Legend do get the dragon. He can walk on towards Shao Shoot. Flandre goes down. This fed Rek'Sai was left alone in the front line. They didn't even need to pull the bullet time, by the way. Flandre, all that gold put into him, not able to do anything with it there. He wasn't even targeted by the Nocturne Orianna. Anyone's Legend, they are the ones which are getting engaged onto. I do wonder whether Anyone's Legend should be making the aggressive plays themselves. Oh, and Kyle, bullet time goes onto him, just about flashes out. Will live. That Collector was getting very, very close to executing him. 3,000 gold now up for JDG. So let's watch this again. Vampire walks up. It's good controlling space here. Hope is just nowhere near his front line. Good flash to get away from that. The problem is here. That's the problem. He can't see him for the Nocturnal. He has to guess where his AD carry is, because he doesn't have direct vision of him. He just has to cast it at the last location he saw, because he doesn't know which way he flashed. With that in mind, actually, that gives him a little bit more of an excuse. It's still the ult missing, very important. But I don't think he actually had clear vision on him there from the Nocturne ults. Of course, you can just look at your teammate's monitor and try and see some things there. Perhaps not able to do that in time. Now JDG, another game where they've got a good lead over Anyone's Legend. And in this one, it feels like JDG are the ones that are team fighting better. You know, I think that Hope has had a poor game, 0-3, not positioning well compared to, in regards to his frontline, rather. I think Shanks, though, his individual trading versus Honq's been okay. Struggled to get any value outside of that. Flandre has been fine in top lane, in terms of the individual matchup, but he's not been able to transfer that across the map very well so far. So, JDG don't have Soul Point just yet on this Infernal Rift. Anyone's Legend getting their last dragon does very much help them in terms of some of the skin. Look at this vision control. Once again, Hope is just walking straight over vision, very far away from his teammates. Vision control from JDG has really leveled up. Now they're ulting into bot side. Hope's going to die. Hope will very much die here. Honq does have flash. He'll die anyway, so it's going to be a 1-for-1 in terms of carries. Hope the one fought out again. And Anyone's Legend, their vision control has definitely been under a lot of threats here. Some ults thrown on both sides. You know, the Shockwave, the Paranoia. Very important skills that have been used there. Flash from Tarzan also used to close down that kill. JDG is hyped so hard, but lost to Weibo twice. Would this Anyone's Legend beat Weibo 2-0? Yeah, fair. I think we talked about that a fair amount on the stream, right? In terms of the nature of kind of like the chaotic jungle path thing. Like slightly more unpredictable nature of JJ and Wei from Invictus Gaming and Weibo. Making it quite hard for JDG to kind of like sit into this kind of mode of play where they can play through Junja getting an advantage. Much harder to do so versus JJ and Wei, I feel. I think eventually Tarzan can do that as well. For some reason he's not started this year particularly well, actually. No way JDG lose to Weibo again. They lost to them twice. They lost to them twice. I mean, that's definitive, you know? They've lost to them twice, and they've lost them in the same way. Jungle support falling behind, not able to get towards their combos, not able to get that early jungle lead. The one game which they did win against them was effectively Jungle just pulling the Nocturne out on cooldown. The Weibo have consistently now beaten JDG. We'll see if it happens in a best of 5, but of course, we've now seen quite easily now that JDG are not a flawless team. Same with Anyone's Legend, same with all the LPL teams. It's made it a very interesting group of Send. Very interesting group of Send. No, none of our top teams are clearly better than the others. They'll have better and worse matchups. Weibo's that Kryptonite? Oh, IG did similar to them. IG did similar to them. So I don't think it's just a Weibo thing. I think there is a blueprint to beat them. That's the thing. If there is a blueprint to beat them, you'd expect a team like Anyone's Legend with the players they do to be able to decode it, recreate it. Now, JDG walking up to this Dragonfight, hugely favored. The terrain looks good for them. Hope once again off the side. Does have that Edge of Night, but it won't help when the Nocturne goes down, because it'll just remove the vision denial part of it. Flandra walking over to the side. That's not bad. Bard does catch someone in the backline, trying to catch. Oh, Honku is fluff shuffle back to get the Orianna. There's no shockwave anywhere. The bullet time's pretty good, but Anyone's Legend might have found their fight. Flandra gets another knockup coming through. Bagala is full HP. That might be the difference maker. Junja goes down, and it's going to be Anyone's Legend destroying the team fight. Xiaoxu goes forwards, but he won't be able to finish off the team fight. No more mobility. Anyone's Legend thread the needle with an aggressive play finally. They catch out the Orianna with the Bard ult. Kyle able to catch that carry, winning them the team fight. Flandra on the flank, that'll buy them the dragon, and JDG's gold advantage disappears. So the bot side of the map dies from Anyone's Legend. Let's watch this again. Really good ults from Kyle. The carries have to retreat. Get the shuffle back onto them. It's not a bad combo back onto the Azir, but very well played from Kyle. Shanks dies for it, but suddenly the shockwave is not a threat to the backline. Flandra cleans up, really. Very well played. The Rek'Sai ends up getting onto him. And JDG, he said, well, the terrain was better for them. They had the items, but they couldn't play the aggressive combo for once. Punishing the flashless Orianna might just have got them back into this game. Was it a draft gap, or did AL... Anyone's Legend have the tools to win this game. We said this right away from draft. But they have the tools to win this game, even though it's quite difficult. You need to use, you know, defensive Bard ultimates to stop the Nocturne Orianna. They're not a very tanky team. Jack Show built up for Flandra, by the way. And now look at the map. JDG don't have the vision control anymore. Ah, but this is where you need to not die. Shanks, you need to be really careful. Level 16 Nocturne. You have a Seekers, though. Seekers makes it harder to kill the Azir now. You've given the gold over to Anyone's Legend to give them, you know, the upgraded Merc Treads are there from the roll quest, of course. Jump it, that's the E. Got the shockwave after. Flash back. Oh, that could be a problem. He's got the GA, that'll help. And I wonder, oh, Shanks, does he have himself the sweep? He does. Gets onto Honky, still has that flash, and it's a pretty good Bard ult. Where's the arrow? Doesn't get the damage, not well timed. Their hope flashes over, looking to assassinate the Orianna, and can't quite do it. They're going to flash in again. Anyone's Legend, think they might be able to walk away the slight victors from this. Xiaoxu not able to find his way out to safety. That road's going nowhere, and JDG pull the combo, but can't make it work. Seekers shattered from Shanks, but it came to a very good cost. Tarzan lost the GA, but again, works out well for them. JDG, as soon as they run into that brick wall and they can't cleanly get the combo, much harder to get these wins. They are such a combo-reliant team, but that shot has to land. Baron will be the prize from Anyone's Legend. Let's watch this again. You know, the E comes in from the Pantheon. They actually do the shockwave late because of that. Tarzan still gets caught out. It's not a bad combo from Vampire and Gala, but the cleanse comes through from Kyle. And Kyle manages to get the double ult onto both carries, which allows the Varus to come into it. Very well played again from Kyle. Managing to get 2 ults in a row. It's a great success. Hope flashes over, can't kill Hongyu there. Great collapse from anyone's Legend. Realize, okay, the combo hasn't ended the team fight. We have to fight through it now. Now they've got the Baron. That Mikhail's from Kyle, also crucial to stop Shanks from dying in the middle of that team fight. Yeah, went from caster cursing Kyle to Kyle proving our point. Yeah, exactly. You know, he didn't have the best mid-game. I think that his ults were a little too offensive, needed to be defensive-minded. But then those two team fights in a row, I think he's had great value.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed. Red team's turret has been
Okay, JDG, you still have a powerful combo. It is going to the Zhonya's of the Azir, which is a problem. Maybe they can catch Hope. Oh, Hope's gone for Seekers too. Now that's a good adaptation. Of course, the Varus does have a ton of AP ratios in his kits, even though they've been nerfed over time, and they will get nerfed again in the future, actually, because of the Dusk and Dawn top lane build. Jaxie, thanks for the follow, appreciate you. Tarzan 1v9s every game? I don't think this is a Tarzan 1v9. Tarzan's played pretty well, but you know, it is an ensemble affair. I think Flandre's started to have much more backline access now. He's had some good team fights. And now look at this. JDG just don't have the vision control anymore. They have one deep ward in mid lane. Azir turret helping keep Shanks safe in case of an eventual dive there too. Honestly, a very silly engage. Using both ults on Pantheon while GA is up is not the play. Well, you've got to just kind of target the person you can, I suppose. If you get the kill, if you get the GA easily... Oh, hang on, that's the Noxen ult. They're trying to punish the recall on Vision. Where's the ult from the Bard? Doesn't need to use it right now. Hope ends up living. Goes into that stasis himself. And they catch up Gala as he ults. Another good tempered fate. Tarzan now flies into play. No GA this time. And Flandra's onto Gala. And that'll be a dead misfortune. Another great turnaround by anyone's Legend. The combo from JDG, which looked so good from them earlier in the week, just doesn't land the knockout blow. Anyone's Legend quick to react in the mid and late game, and JDG could not make the combo work well enough. Vampire flashing forwards, but to no avail. Anyone's Legend will take their victory in game 1 versus JDG. Much better response to the combo than the last team that JDG faced. AL 1-0 up in the series. A really solid game from Kyle. Kyle's ults catching out the carries, flashless in those team fights as they were positioning for the big combos was really, really important. Solid game from anyone's Legend. I mean, I thought the initial play was actually a little rough, actually. I thought the initial play was a little bit risky from them. 1 second, I gotta go change over the music so we don't get copyright strikes. Can be a thing. I gotta keep yapping over it so we don't have issues with it. Okay, hello, my name's Nymaera, and if you're enjoying what you're watching here, think about dropping a like, follow, subscribe. This is what I do for a living, basically. And I enjoy doing it. Love watching LPL with you guys, and I'm glad that you're spending time with us for exactly this. Okay, Tarzan and Kyle are just so good. Yeah, I mean, there was obviously like some moments in that game where, I mean, realistically, there probably could have been a defensive, Bard ult or two. And I think, like, particularly that one around the Dragon, where Kyle didn't, well, he missed his AD carry. That one obviously doesn't look great. Flandre got a lot of votes. Yeah, Flandre was very good too. You know, he got ahead individually, had very good teamfight value later. He is still the only Rexar player in the world which I trust with that champion. I don't think anyone else should be playing this champion, really. I think, actually, Flandre is definitely up there on the MVP list. I think that the Bard ults are probably the flashiest part of that game, and I think that Kyle catching out the carries was a very important part of it. And this does raise some questions about JDG, of course. You know, they've now lost to anyone's Legend where they didn't get that early jungle lead. And I think it's a mistake from JDG to not plan around shutting down Tarzan early, shutting down Tarzan and Kyle. High pressure bot lane, lock Kyle in lane. You know, they lost the early levels of the 2v2. Kyle got out onto the map. That delayed JDG getting off the ground early. The first couple of ults of the game were not great because of that, I think. Yeah. So now we question, okay, JDG, do you have a plan to shut down Tarzan again? Because it doesn't look like it. And then suddenly, you know, if JDG lose that, they are then at 4-4, which is such a different record to us saying, look, they're the best team in the LPL because they've beaten JDG, they've beaten AL. They go to 4-4 after losing to Invictus Gaming, to Weibo twice, and then finally losing one of these games against a top team, which was their real calling card. What happens after that point? I'm gonna go on a quick break, folks, because I want to, and then I'll be back after the ads. Tarzan's hard to shoot a target, but they did that last time, so that's not true. And also, you can just do it through bot lane, which is the thing. That's actually the main way you do it in the meta. It's less about mid lane laning phase, more about bot lane. And even then, Honky's a very good laner. I mean, you're not wrong. Shanks is a very good laner. Shanks is a great laner for sure. But it's easier to do it through bot lane right now anyway. So if you lose bot lane, that's the problem. Kyle player of the game? Cool, good to see. Yeah, he was good. He was good. Although I think it was either him or Flandra, right? I think those two were the most solid, really. I think, yeah, Flandra continues to be the only Rek'Sai in the world which actually makes the champion look good in top lane. And player of the world. Oh yeah, I see T1 is kind of blasting DK right now. Here Pays is doing well. Thanks for the follow, Mr. Wazam, by the way. And Just Dash, did notice that earlier. They gave Pays Kai'Sa. Ah, that tends to be a mistake. Tends to be. Wait for LEC. Oh yeah, is LEC tonight? Yes, it is. Cool. What games do we even have in LEC tonight? SK are a weird team. I mean, I've been enjoying watching LEC. I have. But, like, SK is such a strange team. You know, if Wonder's on really good comfort, and he understands what he wants to do with a carry matchup or whatever, he's genuinely very good. I enjoy watching him quite a bit. What games do we have tonight? Heretics SK, that should be an... If SK lose that, they're so doomed. Na'Vi GX, that's legit very good. I think Na'Vi can take that versus GX, despite GX, I suppose, technically being better pound for pound, but Relic is really, really good. Shifters Fnatic. Shifters look like they're kind of doomed, not gonna lie. Oh, last game of the day is MQuay LR, that's kind of crazy. And they got G2 the day after, oof. Yeah, LR have got some big games this week. Probably gonna get blasted, sadly. Vitality Casey. If Vitality Casey could actually be really funny, honestly. Oh, is this like one of the guess the champion things? Oh, this is guessing the champion animation. Yeah, yeah. Is that Janna? Or is that Nami? That might be. Janna or Nami? It's an enchant. Oh, it's Sona. I knew it was an enchanter. You can just tell by the way they move. It's an enchanter. Bondle? Hang on, is Bondle a thing? That's very funny. What the heck? Huh? I have no idea. Is it Elise? Belveth? It's not Belveth. She has... Is it Belveth? The hell is that? Oh, Kale. It's Kale. Of course it's Kale. It's Kale. I think. Swain? What's... Oh, it's his cloak. Oh, shit. I have no idea. Oh, that's the thing. Hey, cool. Thanks, Blade. I'll definitely play that at some point. I have no idea. Okay, apparently I'm less good at this than I thought I would be. Oh, I know the dance. That's Twitch. Yeah, it's the Twitch dance. The Twitch dance is Twitch. Yeah. It's Twitch. You can yeah, and that's the recall of Twitch. Yeah, Twitch. Yeah. Yeah, the dance is the easy one for that actually. Well, the recall too. I got it on the dance. By the way, no one did this before Chakras did it on LEC Pop Quiz. It's a fun game, I like that. That's a fun game. Hey, Monkey, how's it going? Okay, let me change back over to the music real quick. Okay. So, should be close to going back onto stage now. And then yeah, I need to see JDG shut down Taz and Kyle again. You need to. Did the series start already? Yes, we've played the first game, and Anyone's Legend took a game off JDG. I say, yeah. yeah, technically, I suppose, with Anyone's Legend losing the last matchup, that's probably the way we should phrase it. Yeah, Anyone's Legend, I think Kyle had a really good game. He was on the Bard, a little bit ropey in some of the mid-game team fights, or some of the early game ones. And then his ults later on were really, really crucial. Yeah. JDG played towards the Nocturne Orianna combo, which worked really well for them the other day, but I think they realized that against a more organized team that denies you your first ults to the game better, it's much harder to guarantee the snowball they had against Weibo. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the LEC games later. This should be fun. There's some good matchups there. The best matchup of the day. It actually might be Na'Vi GX. That might be the best one. Yeah, Na'Vi GX is probably the most interesting game today in LEC, I think. And then, yeah, it looks like T1 DK is not going to last long. What a throw. I thought this game was done. Huh, I'm surprised that people thought it was a throw from Anyone's Legend. I mean, they were looking very good. I want to say around was it 4th Dragon? Was it the 4th Dragon where they were looking really good? And then the combo just didn't work out very well. Yeah, I think Honky losing his flash in that side lane that one time became really, really important. I actually wonder, you know when he got picked off bot lane when Hope died? I think if he just doesn't use flash there, I wonder whether they have a much better dragon fight and they can fight back with the Nocturne Orianna. Honky dying in side lanes, it has become a real problem. I know it was a problem before, but now it's like actually game losing kind of level of problem, you know? Which is a worry. It's a huge worry. Honky in pretty much every game, even the good games, has been dying in side lanes. Okay, so what do we have that's still available? Well, we lost 2 of our prize mid laners in terms of the Orianna and the Azir. We still have Rumble, we still have Malphite Jace. Honky is young, he'll learn fast. Yeah, it was a problem for him last year as well, though, for sure. And I have to say, just in general, this team doesn't play well around side lanes. Yeah, Honky has an incredibly high ceiling. Honky may be the next legendary mid laner. No, I think that Honky has an incredible future ahead of him. That no one's debating that at all. Yeah, but JDG, their play around side lanes has just not been good enough. Not been good enough. And for once, they're actually running into a team that team fights better than them. Anyone's Legend are probably the best team fighting team in the LPL right now. Been very, very solid at that on the whole. Don't always get to them on even footing. Be gone, adverts, be gone. Okay, so the Nico's gone, Jarvan Silas. Again, we're looking at stuff like the Rumble, which is very, very high priority, of course. Yeah, we're really looking at Malphite, Jace, Rumble as the 3 last bans. If one of those isn't banned next, we're going to get one of them through. Now, JDG have the first pick. Rumble is gone, so we still have like 2 of the big ones left. But the Jace and the Malphite.